Good evening to you all. I am so glad that we are able to bring people from the Canadian families and people from the mainland African country and those in the diaspora. Today is a new beginning for this city. And so far as you have arrived here, I tell you, this city will never be the same. But before I go on, I would like to share a story when I arrived here 42 years ago. And I arrived in the city of Toronto, and I live in a small town called Dundas, not too far from Hamilton. And I want to share this story with you because this is some of the stories we carry to the new Canadians. And when I was coming here in 1970, my mother knew much about England and the United States. And I spelled Canada C-A-N-A-D-A, am I right? Right. And my mother told me it doesn't have 6 letters, but 4. So one day I challenged her to spell Canada, and she said C-O-L-D. Cool. So when I told her I was coming to Canada, I said, how are you going to face 4 letters instead of 6, and what would you do about 2 more? So when I came here, she was wondering how I was going to survive, knowing that I'm not from the Eskimo or the native people. So 2 weeks after I've arrived, I called her to tell her about Canada and the Canadian people. And while I was here within those 2 weeks, every morning I went to the shopping mall to buy a newspaper and to look around. And everybody I spoke to, whether going to the mall or getting on the bus, they would open the door or they would stand by to let me on the bus. And then when I say thank you, they would say, you are welcome. And I thought, being from Africa, when you tell somebody thank you, we say, don't mention it, which is the way we used to say. So you are welcome means, I was asking myself the question, how did they know that I just arrived? I thought there is some way. So when I called my mother, my father answered the phone, and I said, are you okay? African men don't talk too much, they just tap you on the shoulder and say, son, I'm proud of you, and that was it. So I wanted my mother to tell her the story, because they are the one who listens. So it's okay, when I started the story, my father said, let me give you to your mother. And then my mother asked me, son, how are you doing? I said, I'm doing great. I'm in the greatest country in the world. He said, what happened? I said, everybody knew I am here. And every time I say thank you, they tell me you are welcome. And it's been 42 years, I'm still being welcomed. So this is the place to be. And then my mother asked me, are you still going to go to the United States or in England? I said, no, I'm staying right here. And those days we used to go to Toronto, walk on Yonge Street in the evenings on Saturdays, looking for a black person to say hello. And we don't care whether you're a guy or a female, we just want your phone number to talk to you. 42 years later, here we are. We brought some sunshine, we brought colors, we brought spirit, and a hospitality that is second to none, and I'm proud of it. But when we get on with the subject of history, there is a lady that I admire a lot. Lois Hall, a proud Canadian and an Albertan, making an important remark about the importance of library in our lives. And I will read something she said that is profound. And I read, libraries are as crucial to our survival as schools, hospitals, or any other institution you can name. They are the cornerstone of civil society, of the liberal democracy that we have come to cherish. Libraries requires all the love and care we can give them. For libraries don't just preserve the wisdom of the past, It also contains the seeds of a better future. End of quote. So libraries, in essence, are as important as hospitals and schools. In essence, reading knowledge can heal you. If you compare knowledge and hospital. And this is what inspires the African History Library Project and the men and women who work to make this vision come to reality. But why do we have Black History Month? Somebody said if we have Black History Month, then we should have Indian History Month, Chinese History Month, and European History Month. But when you start a race and some other people have started before you join the race, you have to catch up.